When I was going to graduate school, I got accepted by Columbia and NYU. But Columbia was so expensive, and I got a scholarship from NYU, so I went to NYU. I was almost an elite. I'm Lao Jiang, and today we're going to talk about how the common people like me feel about elite education here in the United States. Come on. This is a YouTube video with over 1 million views that talks about the most exclusive and expensive schools in the United States.
And with a name like the Oxford Academy, you can bet your bottom dollar that tuition isn't going to be cheap. The all-boys boarding school, which sits on an absolutely stunning plot of land, is consistently heralded as a top-rated institution, with an astounding 97% of students going to attend a 4-year college after graduating. With a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1 and the opportunity for the boys to take individual one-on-one classes with their professors, it's no surprise that the yearly fees climb up to a bank-bending $67,000. That covers a number of optional weekend activities for the housed students, including skiing and snowboarding in Vermont, attending car shows, comedy shows, all-you-can-eat sushi, laser tag, paintball, and sailing and fishing on Long Island Sound.
What do common people think about elite education? Well, according to Zach Woods, it's actually not about education at all. It's about building a network. In other words, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And in these schools, of course, you're going to meet other powerful, rich people, and that will build your network. Some are even more cynical, like ADHD, who said that he hardly got through high school, and yet just because he worked hard and he studied and he was passionate about software engineering, that's what he does now. And he doesn't care anything about elite schools or the pressure of all of that. Just study yourself. Next Level Relaxed seems to think that parents send their kids to these elite schools not necessarily for the education, but more to keep them away from poverty, to keep them away from the bad teachers, to keep them away from bad life situations. So if they're in the elite schools, life is going to be controlled and everybody's going to be insulated in their perfect little bubble. And here's Adam C., who said that in his public school, they only had to pay $85. And even that was too much and too disturbing for his parents. So this shows you the exact opposite side of the elite school mentality. Poor SSJ doesn't have his own locker. Until you go down to the replies, and there are other students there who don't have any lockers at all. Jose Tapia takes an interesting approach to the situation. Because most of the elite schools are boarding schools, which means the students live at the school, his idea is that they miss so much with the family because they're never at home to be with the family. And for him, that's a super negative part of going to these elite schools. And finally, here's M. Johnson talking about Finland, saying that they decided to get rid of elite education. Now, of course, in response to this, somebody mentioned that, it's easier to do in a place like Finland because it's real homogeneous. Many people are similar without great disparity. For instance, I worked at Eastside High School in Paterson, New Jersey, which is one of the poorest schools in the United States. And it was a super difficult situation because a lot of the kids were immigrants. Half of the school hardly spoke good English. Many of the parents who spoke Spanish needed the students to come and help them survive in the outside world. So many times they just wouldn't come to school because they had to help their parents do translating. So it's not just that some of these poor inner city public schools lack resources. It's that the population that they have is immigrant, itinerant, poor, uneducated.
About 700 and something.
Right.
I can't tell you exactly because we do get extras most every 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
We'll get another batch of children arriving and then maybe a couple will drift off. So over the last year, we've probably gone up about 100, 150 children.
I sometimes wonder what my life would be like had I decided to go to Columbia instead of NYU. Would I be sitting here right now? Would I be talking to you right now? What would have happened? I don't live with any regrets. I don't regret doing what I've done. I just wonder how my life would be different. Do you ever think about how your life would be different if you made other choices, especially in education? Don't think too much. Just keep studying, find something you like, and do it. I'll talk to you soon.